On this video, I'm going to share with you the most critical component to having success in business, whether you're a brand new beginner and today is your first day as an entrepreneur, or whether you've already built a business that does $500,000 a month or $2 million a month. I'm going to share with you the absolute most critical component to success in business. And I've decided to entitle this video, Easy Money Partnership Profits. And which denotes that there are hard money partnership profits. And there are two types of partnerships. There's hard money partnerships and there's easy money partnerships. And as I look in the rearview mirror of my experience as an entrepreneur, and I think about the tens of millions of dollars that we've made, the thing that has contributed the most to the bottom line is partnerships. And I started thinking about, why is that the thing? Why are partnerships, of all the things, like learning how to sell, great, right? Learning how to do marketing, email marketing, right? Creating YouTube content, writing books, all that stuff. Nothing has impacted my generational wealth creation for my family more than strategic partnerships. And so, I've got some good news and some other news. The good news is you already know how to establish partnerships. You've already done it. You've already done it. If you have a spouse, you know how to establish a partnership. If you have a job, you know how to establish a partnership. If you have employees, you know how to establish partnerships. What does partnership mean? Partnership means just you're going to do part of it and somebody else is going to do part of it. That's why it's called a partnership. It ain't called a fullnership. Never mind. Okay. Thank you for laughing at my corny humor. Okay. So there are some specific types of partnerships that can make you millions of dollars. We live in an economic era where little old you, if today is your first day in business, you can partner with millionaires and billionaires. I'm gonna break it down to you. It's gonna blow your mind. Well, maybe it'll blow your mind. You can partner with millionaires and billionaires. And I think about, I'm gonna guess our business has done probably about $8 million so far this year, which is a little down, but it's okay. I'm not down about it. At least 3 million of that is from strategic partnerships. At least. Wrap your mind around that. Like, it's not me out doing everything. You want to be the chief cook and bottle washer in your business, but what ends up happening for real is you end up being the chief cook and bottleneck in your business. And so there are different types of partnerships. But before I go into the different types of partnerships, let me show you why partnerships are so important. And I know I've shown you this before, and I know I've put it on other YouTube videos, but please don't let go. Like, this will change your life if you'll let it. If you'll understand the connection and the relevance between these partnerships. So I'm going to go over here to my trusty digital blackboard, and I'm going to show you just real quickly, the history and mystery of wealth. Because if you don't understand the history of wealth, you can't solve the mystery of wealth. One of the biggest reasons, and you've heard me say this before, but I'll say it again. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to make money, to create wealth, is because they're attempting to earn a living in the past, right? And if you attempt to earn a living in the past, then you're going to always make less money. You're always going to make less money. So what I recommend is that you do your best to earn a living in the current economic era that exists. So because every time you create something, there's this butterfly effect. There's this perturbation effect. Like, when you make something new, you disturb something old, right? It's kind of like bees like honey, but bees don't necessarily like people. People definitely don't like bees. I remember last time I got stung by a bee. I was in my parents' house. This was a long time. This was decades ago. and I was doing something. I walked in the house, flipped the light, and I felt like I got stabbed in the back of the neck with an ice pick. And I literally fell on the floor. I'm down on the floor, and that bee's buzzing around. Bzzz. Did you see how I threw that dude down on the floor? That was so great. I said, okay, you got me. But you ain't going, I ain't even going, you know, once a bee stings you, they die. I wasn't going to wait on it to die. I'm going to kill you. You threw me on the ground. Anyway, so bees don't like people. But bees are absolutely essential to human beings staying alive. Because plants don't regenerate like animals and humans do. Plants regenerate through a concept called pollinization. There's pollen in one plant, and what happens is something has to disturb that pollen, and then it goes to another plant, and then it recreates, right? So the bees like the nectar, and they use the nectar to make the honey. So the bee is not thinking about keeping you alive. So why is this so, what keeping you alive, what does that mean? That means that human beings, we breathe in oxygen, we breathe out carbon dioxide. But plants take in carbon dioxide and put off oxygen. So we have to have plant life on the earth in order for us to stay alive. So bees are flying around doing what bees do for the bees, but while they're doing what they do for them, the byproduct of that is they are growing the ecology that keeps us alive. So there are always byproducts to production. Are y'all tracking? Okay, so cool. So the history and mystery of wealth. We're going to go back to the beginning of time, Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, the beginning of time from pretty much zero to the mid-1700s. The economic infrastructure of the world was based on agriculture. So it was literally the agricultural age. And people grew their crops out of the ground and raised their cattle on the ground, and then they would sell those crops or sell that cattle, and that's how they would make their money. And in order for you to have like wealth in the agricultural age, you needed some land. So land equaled wealth. And the people who owned the land owned the wealth. But the people who owned the land didn't farm the land. The people who owned the land had either servants or they would let poor peasants farm the land for them. They would bring most of the wealth to the lords, the landlords, and ladies. And then they would give them enough just to stay alive so they could farm the land another year. That's how it worked. Are y'all tracking? And so in the agricultural age, you had one gestation period per year, which means you had a limited amount of money you could make per year based upon the land you had. Are y'all tracking? There was nothing you could do to make it make more unless you went and bought some more land or you went and conquered and took over somebody else's land, right? And then mid-1700s to the mid-1900s, we went from the agricultural age into the industrial age. And we went into the industrial age because people who were farming the land were figuring out ways to make tools to make farming the land easier. And so they started manufacturing tools. And then guess what they did? They started manufacturing factories to manufacture tools. And so so we went from the agricultural age to the industrial age, and in the industrial age, machines equaled wealth. So the people who own the machines own the wealth. And it's really interesting how in the in the industrial age, a couple things happened in the industrial age that were true then but aren't true anymore. Here's one of them. If you thought you wanted to do something that required a machine, if you didn't own the machine, you had to get permission from somebody who owned the machine. So it was a very permission-based society. Wealth was created faster, but it was only created for people who received permission. What do I mean? If you thought you were an author, a publishing company that owned a printing press needed to think your book was good in order for you to become an author. If you could sing, or you thought you could sing, a record label had to think you could sing because they had the ability to record your music. If you thought you could act, well, a Hollywood producer had to think you could act, and if you didn't get permission from those people, that's why they auditioned. And so everybody was seeking to get permission. Also, in the industrial age, people who were working in the factories, and they were doing a really good job, somebody might come to them and say, Max, you're doing a really good job working on this machine. If you'll go to college at night, I'll pay for it. And then when you graduate, you can manage all the other people that work on machines. So Max would go home and tell his kids, hey, y'all, I just got a promotion because my boss said if I go to college, I get good grades, and he'll make me a manager. So you're going to be able to skip the factory, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, go off to college, get a degree, and then you can get a good job and you can skip the factory. And that's where the whole idea of getting a college education to get ahead came from, because there was a time when getting a college education would get you ahead. There are some cases in which it does now, but for most people, it just doesn't work. It does work for some. If you're going to go into a specialty, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be an architect, something like that, yes, it does. But for most people, it doesn't work. Okay, so then what happened in the industrial age? Well, in the industrial age, we started manufacturing so much stuff that we had to have a way to distribute it, and so they manufactured railroads, and so they started distributing it. So from the 1950s to 1978, we went into the distribution age. And in the distribution age, outlets equaled wealth. And when the outlets equal wealth, I'm just going to start writing a W now. Okay, outlets equal wealth. When outlets equal wealth, the people who own the outlets own the wealth. And this is when people like Sam Walton, Sears and Roebuck, J.C. Penney, McClure's, and all these different distribution chains. It's when network marketing got started, it's when malls got started, it's when infomercials got started, it's when all of these different kinds of distribution channels, people who got started in those in the 1950s, between 1950 and 1978, became millionaires. Some of them even became billionaires. Why? Because they were earning a living in the economic age in which they lived. Now, some of them, like you got people like Henry Ford, he combined the industrial age and the distribution age and became mega wealthy. You got people like John D. Rockefeller, combined those two economic eras and became mega wealthy. Is what I'm saying making sense? Okay, but then what happened in 1978? What was invented in 1978? What was it? Well, not computers, computers before that, but a specific kind of computer. 1978, from 1978 to 1994, personal computers. And we went into the technology age. And in the technology age, tech, know, how equaled wealth. People who knew how to create technology, those are the people who own the wealth. This goes to there, okay? People who knew how to create new technologies, they own the wealth. And I don't know if y'all can, some of y'all are old enough to remember, back in the early 80s, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, Michael Dell, like all of these, Larry Ellison, all these 20-somethings are multimillionaires and billionaires on the front of Time Magazine, on the front of Fortune Magazine, all these magazines, and we're like, what did everybody want to go to school for in the 80s? Be a computer programmer. But we didn't realize, Bill Gates, we didn't realize that we got there too late. We didn't realize that when we saw this in 1994, Bill Gates didn't start programming computers in 1994. He started programming computers in 1968. So he was preparing himself before we ever got there. He was 10 years before the technology age. No wonder he was the richest man in the world for such a long time. And then what happened? Well, we went from there, 1994, the introduction of the internet. Anybody remember Prodigy and CompuServe? Right? we went into the information age. The information age was the first economic era in history where you didn't have to own something to create wealth. What do I mean you didn't have to own? You can't own information. Information is public domain. Who owns the fact that the sky is blue? Who owns the fact that grass is green? You can't own that, right? So how do they make money? They controlled the flow of information. People who controlled information flow, those are the people who own the wealth. There were people back then in the early 2000s, late 90s, who were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just with Google AdSense pages. They put up a website. All it had on it was links. And every time somebody clicked on a link, they'd get a check. And I had friends who were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just from clicks. Yahoo was a big player. Y'all remember Ask Jeeves, right? Dogpile, all these other search engines. But what happened? What always happens is one big player came in and consolidated the information business, which was who? Google. They came in and consolidated, and then everybody else just became also-rans. And so 2003 we came into an economic era that was mind-blowing. 2003, this lasted from 2003 to 2008. I'm getting into the partnership age here in a minute. 2003 to 2000, techno, info, edutainment age. People who knew how to use technology to create information, to educate in an entertaining way, those are the people who own the wealth. So they would use technology. You have people like Russell Simmons who created a new genre of music and became a billionaire. You have people like Spike Lee who created Nike commercials with Michael Jordan and became a multi-millionaire. You have people like Tyler Perry who recorded plays and he was homeless and he had VHS tapes and he sold these plays out of the trunk of his car and now he's a billionaire. Why? Because he capitalized on the economic era in which he lived. He didn't say, I'm going to go start a factory and make VHS tapes. That's not what he did. He capitalized on the technology. We got a guy like Jeff Foxworthy. He became so rich. He was one of the sharks on Shark Tank for a season. What did he sell? He sold cassette tapes on redneck jokes. You might be a redneck if. Guess where he sold them at? Truck stops. He knew where his ideal avatar was. So mind-blowing, but he capitalized on the era that he was in. Are y'all tracking? But then something happened in 2008. 2008 to, that's how I used to have to draw it. Before I go into 2008, let me ask you a question. What do you notice about each one of these economic eras? They get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. So, here's what we learned from the fact that each one of these economic eras gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. There's never been a time in human history where it's easier to make money than it is right now. Every year that goes by, every decade that goes by, creating wealth becomes easier. But while it's becoming easier, it feels harder. Wait a minute, what are you saying? I'm saying while it's becoming easier, it feels harder. Myron, why does it feel harder? I'm glad you asked that question. It feels harder because in the agricultural age, people had thousands of years to prepare for the change. In the industrial age, people had hundreds of years. In the distribution age, they had a couple of decades. In the technology age, a little over a decade. In the techno-info-edutainment age, less than a decade. Oh, so the reason it feels so hard to create wealth is because we have less time to prepare for the new economic era. And so when it comes, we're still doing things the way we've always done it because our mind is an energy hog and we don't want to have to think about a new way of doing a new thing in a new world. We just want to do but it used to work. Can I get a witness? And so, this was the partnership age. And in the partnership age, people knew how to create strategic partnerships. Strategic partnerships equaled wealth. Now, this used to be a question mark. It's not a question mark anymore. This is 2020. Look how long that is. That's 12 years. This lasted for a longer time than the previous economic era. First time it ever happened. When I say the partnership age, what happened in the partnership age? Here's what happened in the partnership age. 2003 to 2008. 2008 to 2020. Here's what happened. Apple invented something in 2007. What was it? iPhone. They invented something in 2008. What was that? The App Store. They invented something else in 2010. What was that? The iPad. And here's what Apple said. If you will create apps for our App Store, we will sell your software to our clients, our hundreds of millions of clients, and we will give you most of the money. Amazon said, if you will write books and put them on our bookshelves, we will sell your books to our hundreds of millions of clients. I know because I've written ebooks for Amazon. Amazon has done email marketing to me to sell me my own books that I wrote. So I know they do email marketing.
Did you buy it?
No, I didn't buy it. But wrap your mind around this, y'all. A multi-billion-dollar corporation is doing email marketing on my behalf. They said, then they said, we don't want to just sell books, we want to sell products. We want to become a retailer. If you'll put your products on our shelves, if you'll source the product, put the products on our shelves, we will sell your products to our hundreds of millions of customers, and we will give you most of the money. Do you understand? To work with a multi-billion-dollar corporation in the past, you had to go fill out an application where hundreds of other people were filling out applications and hope to get hired. And now they're telling you, if you'll create content or products or whatever for my platform, I will sell your stuff to my audience and give you most of the money. What? And by the way, most people, and I literally believe this is true, most people have never partnered with a multi-billion-dollar corporation. I've partnered with Apple. I've created an app for the App Store. I've created ebooks for Amazon, partnered with Amazon in promoting books that I've read in my Amazon storefront. I partnered with YouTube. YouTube was created in 2006. Partnered with YouTube. YouTube has paid me $1.5 million in the last 3 years for sending, and guess what? They're better at promoting my business than I am. I got a multi-billion-dollar corporation finding clients for me while I'm on vacation. What? I know you don't. I don't know how to do it. I get that, but it's worth figuring out. You figured out harder stuff for way less payoff. Am I telling the truth? You figured out way harder stuff for way less payoff than what one of these multi-billion-dollar corporations is going to do for you. So we went to the partnership age. Now, what happened in 2020? 2020, we went into a whole new economic era. You know what? I don't want to do that. I'm going to make it smaller. Okay. Where did we go in 2020? 2020 to, we are now in the AI age. And people who know how to capitalize on artificial intelligence and not pretend that artificial intelligence is real intelligence, not replace human intelligence with artificial intelligence, but people who know how to capitalize on artificial intelligence, partner with artificial intelligence, leverage artificial intelligence, and create partnerships, those people are going to create the most wealth. Now, can I give you the biggest breakthrough of this whole thing? Okay. If you think about it, our computers, our devices, our phones, our computers, our tablets are now the land that grows our products. But it's not only that, it's the machine that I use to build my products. Not only that, it's the distribution channel that I use to reach the people who are going to buy my product. It's the technology that I use to create the products and reach the people, and it's the information, that the place where I go to get the information to put in the products that I'm creating for the people that I'm going to find. And now there are also companies, entrepreneurs, $1 million companies, $1 billion companies that I can partner with to promote my stuff because I'm good at what they're bad at and they're good at what I'm bad at. This is so good. By the way, here's why this works so well. Business to me is one of the ultimate, like I believe that family and business are two of the greatest fulfillment trifectas that exist on planet Earth. Why? Because both of those arenas cause us to engage in the activities that make us feel the most fulfilled. What are the activities that make us feel the most fulfilled? I'm not going to break it down into great detail. I'm just going to give you what they are. Number one, creation. We create something. When I create something that hasn't existed before, it makes me feel like, oh, that's my baby. I did that. I wrote that book. I created that product. I invented that thing, right? So we create something. And then what do? We connect with other people. We connect with other people who can appreciate what we created. So we connect with other people who can appreciate what we've connected. And when I might create a product and then connect with a customer, and that customer buys it. Now I've got some money, and so now I can contribute. I can contribute to causes that I care about, people that I love, and I can contribute more to my creation. And this whole cycle of creation, connection, contribution, creation, connection, contribution, creation, it makes me, the more I create, the more I connect, and the more I contribute, the more fulfilled I feel. Is what I'm saying making sense? Yes. And so business is one of the places that gives us the ability to do that. And I think one of the reasons I love partnerships so much is because partnerships in business are like, a microcosm of business itself. So I'm going to talk about now several different types of partnerships that you could start that could make you an absolute fortune. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. They made me an absolute fortune. I know they work, so I'm not giving you theory. So, first kind of partnership, a joint venture partnership. What is a joint venture partnership? You've got something, but something's missing. Okay? So everybody say, I've got something, but something's missing. But something's missing. Okay, but don't let the thing that's missing stop you, because here's the cool part. Somebody has the thing you're missing. This is so cool. So, for instance, I'll give you a direct, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. When I first started really scaling my business, and we were doing the Make More Offers Challenge, David Shands interviewed me on his podcast, Social Proof Podcast. He had way more subscribers than I had. I might have had I had 3,000 maybe. I had 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. And he interviewed me. Well, a lot of podcasters, what they do, I don't know if you know this or not, but they'll charge people to come on their podcast. Did y'all know that? Anybody not know that? Okay, they'll charge you to come on their podcast. I said, well, you can charge me, or I can pay you an affiliate commission. And what we'll do is I'll do my Make More Offers Challenge, because my Make More Offers Challenge, we got one that starts today. For those of you who are in the room, I forgot to mention that to you. We've got a Make More Offers Challenge that starts today. If you want to take the challenge as a VIP, you can stay, right? And you can take the challenge here. But anyway, so Make More Offers Challenge. The VIP tickets are $297. The general admission tickets are $97. And so I said, David, here's what we can do. I can either pay you the $10,000 that you charge, or I can pay you an affiliate commission, 50% of every ticket you sell. I said, I think you'll do better as an affiliate than you will if I just pay you $10,000. He said, okay. So I went on there, talked, sold a bunch of tickets. His first commission check was more than $10,000. Why? He had something I didn't have. I had an offer. Guess what he had? He had an audience. If you'll expose my offer to your audience, I'll give you half of the money. Say, what? Are y'all tracking? Last year, this company called me. They're like, hey, we got this conference coming up next year, which was this year, and we'd like you to come speak. What are your requirements? Well, you have to pay my jet fee. Well, it's in Orlando. Okay, I don't need a jet to go to Orlando. I can take my car. You have to pay all my expenses and the expenses of my team while I'm there, and $250,000 per time I talk. What? That sounds crazy. That's crazy. No, it was not it. And then I asked the question, is that inside or outside your budget? They said, that's outside our budget. I said, well, there is a way we could strike up a strategic partnership. How many people are you going to have in the room? They said 1,500. They didn't quite have 1,500. They had about 500, which is okay. I said, tell you what, here's what we'll do. We will, you pay all my expenses, pay all the expenses for my team. I'll make an offer. The offer will be my offer. You'll have no fulfillment. I'll make the offer. I'll fulfill the offer. And you, and then I'll split the revenue with you on the offer. They said, okay. And the percentages were based on performance, their performance and mine. So I don't want to go into the details of that, but both of us, both they and I, made hundreds of thousands of dollars. I spoke 3 times. I made more money than I would have made had they just paid me $250,000 per talk. Because I didn't just say no because they couldn't pay me. See, when something doesn't work out a strategic partnership. Like, they can't afford to pay you what you're worth. Okay, work out a strategic partnership. Okay, you can't afford to pay me my, let's say you got a software that's $500 a month. Can't pay you, or you got a service. You have an ads agency. It's $500 a month. I can't pay you $500 a month. Okay, don't pay me anything, except a percentage of the upside. And I get to look at I get to see all the data. Strategic partnerships are I have people. Okay, strategic partnerships, you got it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Joint venture partners. Okay, that's one kind of partnerships. Okay. Another kind of partner is affiliate partners. What's an affiliate partner? Now, I don't make as much through affiliate offers because I probably make $8,000-10,000 a month from affiliate offers, which is not terrible, but it's like extra money. It's like, golf money, right? Right? Not that I spend $10,000 a month on golf before y'all start judging me. It's probably not more than 9. Okay. That was for all my haters. Okay, so, but affiliate partnerships means that people who have offers, like I have an offer, it's called the Make More Offers Challenge. You can sign up as an affiliate. You can go to mmocaffiliates.com. You can promote my challenge, and I'll pay you 50% of every ticket you sell. I have a guy in India who makes 6 figures a year just in affiliate commissions from promoting my books and my challenge. 6 figures a year. Which means, guess what? I make 6 figures a year from him promoting it. I don't have to do anything. I have the offer. He has the eyeballs. He puts those eyeballs on my offer. We both get paid. Is what I'm saying making sense? That's what an affiliate offer is. Okay, so y'all get it. So affiliate partnerships. Then there are promoter partnerships. Maybe you have the ability to promote an event. Like this company that called me, that we got the ability to promote an event. Because they had the ability to promote an event and get 500 people in the room, and I've done this with so many people, I can't even count how many times I've done this. They had the ability to get the people in the room, and I had the ability to do what I had the ability to do. They had the ability to get people in the room, but they didn't have the ability to convert that audience into cash flow at a high level, but I had that. So we partnered together, ta-da! Everybody wins. Is what I'm saying making sense? Okay. Promoter partnerships. Presentation or pitch partnerships. So if you're really good at selling, which I happen to be, I love doing presentation and pitch partnerships. So I've got people who call me they'll call me every couple of months at least, and they'll say, "Hey, Myron, so-and-so just did their challenge. Are you available to do a repitch?" No, I'm not. Yes, I am. And they will always do it around my calendar. And I might make $15,000, and I might make $25,000, I might make $150,000, and I know this all sounds insane. I know it sounds so fantastical and ridiculous. I get that because that's how it would sound to me. But I come here, I talk for 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. I send people to go look at that person's offer. All the sales that are made, they pay me a commission. And it's usually 40 or 50%, depending on whether they're one of my students or not. And guess what? It's never less than $10,000, $15,000 for 45 minutes to come down here to an air-conditioned office and talk to people on Zoom like I'm talking to people on YouTube right now. So, okay, presentation or pitch partnerships. Okay, delegation partnerships. What is that? What is a delegation partnership? That's when you outsource somebody, you hire a contractor, and you pay them to do some of the work in your business. They're a partner. What do you mean they're a partner? Because they're doing some of the work. They're doing part of the work. So we have contractors. We have some contractors over in the Philippines. We got a couple of contractors. We got a contractor in India, a couple of contractors in the Philippines. I got one contractor here in the United States. So contractors are delegation partnerships. Employees. I've got employees who work here. They're on salary or on hourly, and they get paid every week, right? And they do work. Trudy was asking me somebody was asking me where are the links for something. I'm like, I don't know, right? Because that's not my part of the partnership, right? So the partnership gives me leverage and it gives them stability. So everybody gets what they want. Are y'all tracking what I'm saying? And so delegation partnerships. And then you have automation partnerships. We have the ability to partner with technology. I'm partnering with technology right now. You say, how are you doing that? I'm talking to thousands of people right now on YouTube. Talking to, 40 people in this room and thousands of people on YouTube all at the same time. How am I doing that? I'm doing that through technology. When I do my challenge, we'll have a couple hundred people on the challenge. How am I doing that? Partner with the technology called Zoom. If you're not capitalizing on partnerships, you're leaving a fortune on the table that could be there for you. One of the reasons our business is so proud, I work part-time. You say, why you work part-time? Because I'm 64. I don't want to work full-time anymore. I work part-time, but I have so much partnership leverage that it makes me a full-time income. Okay? So automation partnerships. So we talked about delegation, we talked about automation. Now let's talk about AI partnerships. Do not make the mistake that so many people make when it comes to AI. Do not make the mistake of letting AI think for you. Yes. That's a disaster. Yes. And it's going to give you so much erroneous information. You don't use AI to think for you. You use AI to help you do research. You use AI to leverage tasks. You use AI as a think tank, but you don't like say, hey, go write me a book on this and here's the chapter. You can do that if you want to, but it's only going to be a matter of time before people find out that everything you put out is absolute rubbish. So you partner with AI. Now, in full transparency, I partnered with AI this morning. I don't have my phone in here, and I don't think maybe it'll be on there. I partnered with AI this morning because I knew what I was going to teach on, but I didn't have a title. And guess what? It didn't give me a title. I said, give me 20 titles that explain this. It gave me 20 titles. Guess what? I didn't like any of them. But the titles that it gave me helped me think of a title that I did like. Oh, Easy Money Partnership Profits. Oh, that's it. None of theirs was Easy Money Partnership Profits. But I partnered with AI, and it sparked something that caused me to think of something. Now, when you're using AI, here's the most important thing you have to do. One of the most important things you have to do. Be very, very detailed in your descriptions of what you'd like it to produce for you. Don't say, hey, create me an outline. No, stop it. Okay? So, and I'm telling you, you could start as an affiliate today. I literally know people who only do affiliate marketing. What does that mean? That means they only promote other people's offers. And they make over $10 million a year. They don't have any fulfillment. And by the way, one guy that I'm thinking about in particular, his name's Eric, he doesn't even promote stuff for sale. He just promotes lead gen and gets paid for generating leads. Over $10 million a year. What? There's so much opportunity available to you today. But if you stay stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck, I don't know how to use the AI, I don't know how to use the computer, I don't know how to use the internet, I don't know how to use my phone, I don't know how to use your... Don't let that be a statement of fact. Put the word yet at the end of that sentence and then go start learning it. I literally have an idea using AI that I'm working on that I think has the potential to be a one-person, moi, billion-dollar business. I'm going to share something with you all really quickly that I think might be beneficial to you as you're thinking about what kind of partnerships you're going to create. So, when you're thinking about creating products or content or whatever for an audience, it's hard to know sometimes. In fact, a gentleman, I didn't even get your name, but a gentleman in the room this morning asked me, how do I know what do I give away for free and what do I sell? And there are three basic, I'm going to give you three different categories of profitable YouTube channels that I believe are profitable YouTube channels. Starting from the lowest profitability to the highest profitability, okay? The lowest profitability type of YouTube channel is an entertainment channel. Entertainment channels will get you the most views if you're entertaining. But those views will pay you the least amount of money per view. Yes. So your CPM and your RPM is going to be lower on that than these other two types of channels. But you'll get way more viewers. But it doesn't matter. Like, look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast has 443 million subscribers, and he's a 20-something-year-old billionaire. So in the entertainment niche, all he does is create like entertaining videos. So if that's the arena you want to play in, just be aware of the fact that that's the arena you're playing in, right? And then there are educational channels. And those channels actually are more profitable, but it's harder, like they don't get anywhere near as many views. Because the number of people who are interested in being distracted and entertained is always going to be greater than the number of people who are interested in learning something that's going to make their life better. but the people who pay attention for the purpose of learning will pay closer attention. Like when I'm watching guitar YouTube videos, like I was watching this morning on voice leading on the guitar or on scale degrees or intervals or whatever. When I'm watching a video on how to play the guitar, I might watch the same video 3, 4, 5 times. But if I'm watching a video that's entertaining, I might watch part of it once. Do you see what I'm saying? So the quality of viewer is different. And then what I believe to be the most valuable eyeballs on YouTube are what I call enterprise channels, like my channel, where I'm teaching people stuff about business. And so, like, I've heard YouTube experts say, man, if you can get $7 CPM, like CPM is cost per thousand, that's how much YouTube charges people per thousand views. Like $7, they charge people $7 per thousand views, you might get $3.50 to $4 of that, right? Well, I've gotten $80 CPMs on my channel. Right, that's what I said, right? And usually they're $40 to $50, which means I make way more money with way less views, right? They say you have to have 300 million views on YouTube to make $1 million. I didn't even have 60 million views when I made $1 million. So my views are literally 5 times more valuable. Is what I'm saying making sense? So enterprise channels. Now, enterprise channels don't get as many views as educational channels sometimes or as entertainment channels, but the views are way more valuable. And so don't lament the fact that you're not getting that many. Oh, my video only got 300 views. Only got 300 views. If 300 people came to a room to listen to you talk, would that be good? Okay, quit tripping. And be thankful for your 300 views. Is what I'm saying making sense? And so until you learn how to get better at getting eyeballs. Here's what's interesting, because my main channel is an enterprise channel. My Bible study is an educational channel. But my new channel that I'm working on, that I'm going to be using AI for, is going to be an entertainment channel. It's going to be an entertainment/education channel. And it's going to absolutely crush. Will you tell us what it is? Nope. Okay, so, but you'll see when it comes out. And you won't even know it's me. Like, it's not even going to have anything to do with, like, my name's not going to be anywhere on it. It's still going to crush. It'll do better than both of my other channels, probably. That's how good the niche is. So, anyway, partner with, like, figure out, like, you've already partnered with somebody who they have a job. For instance, I know, like my team, I've got people on my team who are in this room. You see the people that are getting the results. You know the stuff I teach works. You could become an affiliate and promote, as an affiliate, my offers and make more money from promoting my affiliate offers than you make from your salary. You could do that. Like, and even if you don't work for me, and even if you don't want to promote my offers, find somebody's offers you want to promote. It's way too easy not to do it. But according to Jim Rohn, there's 2 types of easy, because what's easy to do is also easy not to do. And so, please, capitalize on the partnership age, which is the most recent past age, and the AI age. Combine those 2 things together and go make some of these easy money partnership profits. Don't let me be the only one who does that. I hope this video blesses you. I hope it helps you. I hope it brings in enough money to pay your car payment or your mortgage or your insurance or everything. Maybe it'll help you make enough money that you can call in sick for the last time. I'm going to teach you how to call in sick for the last time. You ready? You call your boss on the phone and say, "Boss man." "Yeah, what's up?" "I ain't coming in today." "Why not?" I don't feel good." "What's wrong with you?" "Having a little trouble with my eyes." "What kind of trouble you have with your eyes?" "I just can't see myself working for you no more." Bye. All right. Stay blessed by the best, and we'll look forward to seeing you on our Bible study channel on Thursday. Bye for now. Stay blessed by the best.